Hello guys, and welcome to a little bit of a different style of day in the life for this channel. Now, as you may be able to tell, we're not in... Nice job guys, nice job. Hello guys, and welcome to a little bit of a different style of day in the life video for this channel. Now, as you may be able to tell, probably by the title and our surroundings as well, we're not home, we're not in the office. We've actually taken a little bit of a trip out to Crete, and that's where we're spending the next week. So we're going to talk a little bit about how we're approaching our trading, how we're approaching the markets, the reason for coming out and stuff like that. Now, of course, with everything that's been going on in the world for the majority of this year, there has been so many restrictions in different countries. We couldn't travel anywhere, we couldn't really get up to much, and so we've had a lot of time to focus and really put a lot of work into KB trading and our own trading as well. Now, since the start of the year, we've taken KB trading from a group with 50 members to nearly 500. We've moved into an office, we then upscaled that office, and now we're actually looking at our next office move within the next sort of 2 weeks to actually look to open up a trading floor. So we've just been so busy. Now, the lockdown restrictions kind of easing in certain countries lined up really well with my girlfriend's birthday. So we thought, you know, the four of us, myself, Callum, Neve and her friend, we thought we'd come out and just get a little bit of a break. Now, we actually arranged a nice car to come and pick us up as a little bit of a surprise, and then we got here sort of late afternoon yesterday. Now, whilst I'm here, you know, a lot of people, maybe they like to break routine when they go on holiday, they find that kind of relaxing. For me, you know, I know you're certainly like that, you like to just kind of chill out, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a second. But for me personally, I like to keep somewhat of a routine. You know, it helps keep me sane. So what I'll pretty much be doing for our duration here in Crete, waking up around 7-8 a.m. Sort of local time, which is around 5-6 back home. That gives me plenty of time before the London Open to get up. I do have a trading setup here. It's just literally a laptop. You know, we're always having a laugh about these sort of laptop gurus and stuff like that you see all over social media, and it really sucks to have to do it because you are kind of out of your typical setup with your news feed and your journal and all these things that really help in your trading performance. But I'm going to be waking up every morning. I'm not looking at my normal watch list or looking to get into trades, but I do have a few pending orders in the market, and you know, a lot of the members in our group are still trading. Of course, you know, they're still home, they're still trading. So I like to keep an eye on the markets and see what's going on so that I'm able to assist people, and also so that I can see any orders I've got in the market, how they're getting on, if anything needs to be adjusted. So my watch list is scaled down to the 6 pairs that I have orders in at the minute. I'm waking up, I'm doing my analysis on those, anything that needs to be changed. I'm doing a little video for the members for the group, my outlook for the day ahead, and then I'm coming out and hitting a workout. Now, I know you're not training while you're here,
no,
not too much, but again, I kind of like to keep a little bit of routine. So just body weight stuff, push-ups, body weight dips, tricep push-ups. I have brought resistance bands, so I've been doing some of that, and then obviously training core as well. And really just trying to keep somewhat of a decent routine. Now, we have rented a couple of cars and stuff like that as well, which we'll get onto in a second. But yeah, so that's pretty much how I'm approaching trading and stuff on this holiday. So do you want to talk about what you're getting up to in terms
of? Yeah, sure. Basically, the reasons Sam just said. I mean, difficult to journal. You're trading from a laptop. It's a lot different from the setup that we have in the office. Comparison to 2 screens, live squawk. You know, it's limitations.
It's that routine as well of going into the office.
Definitely.
You know, getting down, sitting in your chair. You know, coffee's right in the kitchen. You're so in the zone.
Yeah.
And I think I'm not actively trading. I'm just keeping an eye on the markets. But for you, you're just kind of saying,
just completely take the week off.
Yeah.
Relax.
Yeah. You don't have any orders in at the minute, do you?
No.
No. So clean slate, come back nice and refreshed. And to be honest, I may do the same. I'll see how the market's moving over the next couple of days. I was in a USD CAD trade. I put in a pending order before I got on the flight yesterday. When we touched down, I was up like 2%. By the time we, had dinner, went out for some drinks, woke up this morning, it had stopped me out for, negative 2%. So there's just these little things that you think maybe it's not worth it, but I do have some orders in the market, and until the analysis suggests otherwise, I'm not gonna pull them just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're gonna take you along on some of the, the adventures and stuff we get up to on this holiday. But for now, we're going to give you a quick walk around the
$6 million mansion
and show you where I'm going to be trading from for the next 7 days. Yeah, so obviously one of the things that attracted us to this was, of course, the views. Very similar to what we had in Crete last year, with this sort of glass sort of perimeter around it. Really nice pool and really good views as well. Okay, so we're going to take a walk down now and actually see the cars. Okay, so we have this soft top Audi. This is our kind of nighttime car. When we're going out somewhere fancy, this is what we'll be using. And then okay, so this Jeep Wrangler is our daytime car. This is what we're using for the beach, shopping, stuff like that. Obviously having no top on it, and it's actually got a really decent sound system in it as well. So just sort of cruising about in this during the day and picking up a tan whilst driving is obviously awesome as well. We have to say a big thank you to the guys at Onyx Car Rentals for sorting this out for us on such short notice. I did reach out to them, I told them about the YouTube channel and stuff like that, and they were kind enough to sort us out this car. So big thank you to those guys. So for the rest of the week, we're going to be relaxing as much as possible. I'm still going to be getting trading and stuff in as well, but I'll be sure to keep you all updated on what we get up to. And again, just kind of show you how I'm managing trading whilst over here. I will be relaxing, but I do still have to keep tabs on trading a little bit, and I'll show you exactly how I do that. Now, we're going to probably go sunbathe for a bit and have some food, and I'll catch up with you in a bit. So it's just gone 4 PM, which is around about 2 PM back home in the UK. Now, I've spent most of the morning away from the charts, sort of by the pool and stuff like that. So we are getting ready to head out for the evening shortly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly jump on to the markets that I have orders in, especially those where current market price is close to those orders. And I'm just going to assess the price action on a couple of time frames and decide whether it's worth holding that order, and whether I think that price is likely to activate that order in this session. It's also a good idea to keep an eye on the news that's coming up in the next few hours or the next couple of sessions, so you have a mental idea. You can say price is 20 pips away from that order, and we have some dollar news coming out that could push price towards my order, etc. Now, I imagine maybe not many of you are trading whilst on holiday, but a lot of you may have a full-time job or studying as well as trading, and to be honest, it's very, very similar in the sense that you're limited on the time that you can have on the charts. So you really have to make it count. If you can only see the charts for 10 minutes every few hours, you really have to have a good idea of those areas where if price goes to and exhibits certain price action, that trade may be invalid. And if you have a good idea of that, it means that all you need to do is glance at a chart, even from your phone. We obviously don't advise trading from a phone, but checking market prices is certainly okay. But if you have a good idea in your head of where the market is, what it looks like, and what would invalidate a setup, it means that you can just very quickly open a phone or a laptop and say, that trade's now invalid and pull the order. So I'm going to quickly have a scan over these markets before we do head out for the night, and that's just going to give me peace of mind. You know, we can go out to dinner, we can go have a few drinks without me having to think about what the markets are actually doing. So I'm going to do that very quickly, and then we'll get ready to head out for the night. So it's around about 5:30 here in Crete, which is about 3:30 back home in the UK. So we're getting on into the New York session a little bit now. We did actually have the NFP today, and we also had some surprise data releases as well. So there's a lot of volatility coming into this afternoon session, and there's certainly a lot going on in the markets. Now, of course, this kind of time on a Friday, I'm really not looking to trade. You know, not only do I find that the moves aren't so good, but I also find you're not really in an ideal headspace, or at least, you know, me personally, this late on a Friday, I feel like you're sort of already winding down for the weekend, and you know, sometimes you're maybe not making the best decisions. Not only that, but you know, I don't like holding trades into the weekend if I can help it. If I maybe was in a trade from Wednesday or Thursday and it was running in profit, I may hold that, but you know, I don't like to take trades on Friday if they're not going to see target within, you know, sort of a few hours. So there's a lot of things that are sort of lining up for next week, which I'm actually really looking forward to. But for now, we're going to head out, we're going to grab some dinner and drinks. We're actually going to drive out a little bit into town, and then I'll maybe include some clips of that, but I'll catch up with you guys in a bit. Okay, good morning. It is now Saturday. Now, apologies, last night I didn't actually get anything on film. We were literally just having too much fun and forgot to take out the camera. But what I'm going to do now, even though it's Saturday and the markets are closed, our work for the week isn't done yet, right? At the end of each week, typically on a Friday night or a Saturday morning, I like to fill out a sort of end of week review and go into it a little bit. You know, what went right throughout the week, what maybe didn't go so right throughout the week, and how I'm going to take that into next week, and what I'm going to do differently. So I'm going to show you that now. This is a simple Word document. It took me about 5 minutes to make. A few simple questions, and reviewing this at the end of each week really does help. Okay, so you can now see my end of week summary document. It has a few simple questions. First of all, how did this week go? So that'll be a basic roundup of the week. Secondly, notable events. So that doesn't just strictly have to be related to the market, but if there was a surprise interest rate cut from the Bank of England, that'd be going in there. Notable mistakes, so you know, potentially miscalculating risk, or taking a pair that wasn't in my trading plan, or not following my trading plan, right? What did I do well and why? So that could be, you know, I followed my trading plan, I traded the pairs that I normally trade, I, you know, stuck with my higher time frame bias, etc, etc. What did I do badly and why? Again, that could be the complete inverse of the first. That could be, you know, I didn't stick to my trading plan, I saw setups that fitted my trading plan and didn't take them.
And then what can I do differently next week? That is the most important question on that page for me, because I do an end of week summary at the end of every week of the month, and then I do an end of month summary on the 4th week of the month. Now, in my end of month summary, I'm looking to see on my end of week summary documents, I'll open up all of them and see if I did actually do what I said I was going to do differently. So I'm going to fill this out now, give you a little bit of an example, and I'll kind of maybe do a bit of a time lapse, kind of speed through this. So I'm going to get on with this now. Okay, so that's a very, very quick run through of my end of week summary. So I'm just going to talk you through it. First of all, how did this week go? So I've said this week began on a good note. I took Euro Yen, managed it aggressively, got taken out for 2%, for plus 2% rather. As the week progressed, I began preparing for holiday, which is where I am now. I had less time for analysis and ended up taking a subpar setup on USD CAD. This setup cost me shy of 2%. Now, you can go very, very brief at the start, and then just as we start to go into each individual question, what it is that, wasn't, I said subpar setup on USD CAD. We're going to talk about that slightly later on. Notable events: I was traveling this week on Thursday, and Wednesday I wasn't in the office. We were out for a meal. Or at my usual setup, charts were checked from my phone once or twice to see where price was in relation to my orders. Notable mistakes: placed an order on USD CAD before getting on the plane. When price landed, it rejected my level nicely and began to move away. So when we landed, I was like 2% in profit. I should have trailed my stop from where it was to above the rejection, anticipating that price was going to make a directional move. And if it didn't make that move, I would be happy to just get taken out, right? But I didn't do that, and price actually came up to stop me out. Now, I've also said the stop was not in a good area. This led to a stop out when price squeezed to the upside. All in all, I shouldn't really have taken this trade whilst travelling. Now, when I say price squeezed, price will often make these moves towards your stop loss and literally just take you out, and then go a few pips beyond, and then start to form a sort of corrective phase in that up move or whatever. And then it'll continue to move in the direction your stop loss was anyway, but I don't like to get taken out and then see price start to pull back a little bit. Psychologically, it's not a good thing, and it also shows that your stop is potentially in an area where a lot of other people's stops are, right? Price is coming up, just taking them out, and then getting a little bit of relief. So then, what did I do well and why? Having conviction in my ideas and committing to my setups, I really had confidence in, despite not having my usual setup. So on one hand, I shouldn't have taken the USD CAD trade, but looking at the positives in it, even though I've not got my usual setup, my squawk system, my screens, all that stuff, my usual environment, I had conviction, I had confidence in a setup, and I had enough conviction to take it. So on the one hand, I shouldn't have taken it whilst travelling, but I'm happy that from a psychological point of view, I didn't let the fact I was travelling get in the way of a good setup, okay? Or what I thought was a good setup at the time. Now, another thing, although USD CAD lost, I'm happy that it didn't affect me mentally at all. I literally, didn't even blink an eye, bat an eyelid, when it lost. It was just like, yeah, whatever. Now, what did I do badly and why? Again, now I can expand a little bit more on this, up here. I never managed USD CAD correctly, simple as that. I must maintain a level of management across all of my trades rather than going on gut feel alone. What I mean by that is, on Euro JPY, as soon as we got that rejection, stop came up. As soon as we moved a little bit into profit, stop came up. And I followed it all the way up, and then when price pulled back, I got stopped out for 2%. Whereas on USD CAD, I saw it move in my direction, and I didn't actually manage it. So again, that was kind of going on gut feel. If I had just treated it the same as Euro JPY, we wouldn't be looking at a 2%, shy of 2% loss there. What can I do differently next week? So next week I'll only take trades with a clear higher time frame bias in the form of engulfing candles or hammers / shooting stars. This will increase the probability of a directional move, and it will also I'll also predefine areas to manage trades and mark them out on my phone so I can manage trades if I see it to be necessary. So I'm still going to be here next week, so I'm going to analyse the charts. Whenever I see a higher time frame bias forming, I'll be happy to take a trade. I'll put in an order on a lower time frame, and then I'll mark out on my phone. I don't like using MetaTrader from my phone, to be honest. I rarely even touch it when I'm back home, but out here it'll be, you know, a useful tool. I'll put in some levels, areas that I want to manage a trade from, and if I do get a fill on my pending order, I'll just simply manage it as I go. And then last but not least, overall P&L, nothing crazy, you know, less than half of 1%, but hey, you know, profit is profit at the end of the day. We've had a couple of alright weeks, so you know, you can't really argue, especially when we have been travelling and we've only been properly in the office at my usual setup for 2 days this week. So anyway, I'm going to get on with breakfast and then I'm going to hit a workout, and I'll catch up with you in a bit.